So last year I shared my top 3 books for storytelling, and this time I wanted to give you 3 more books, but specifically for content creators. Now, if you are looking for the latest hack, I'm going to warn you, I'm not your girl. You're not going to like this channel, so I'm sorry. But if you want to approach content creation a layer deeper, how you doing? There's a quote, and I can't find who actually said it. Jim Morrison from The Doors was credited for it at some point, but it's this idea that whoever controls media controls culture. So it's interesting to think that as media has become decentralized through content creation, the influence that content creators have is unreal, but also the pressure that content creators have is also unreal. Sometimes it's hard to keep our head in the game and remember why we're doing what we're doing. So again, these 3 books are not about tactics and hacks for growing a channel, but they've helped me keep my head in the game and remember why I'm doing what I'm doing. So first up, I have The Practice from Seth Godin. Now, I love all of Seth Godin's books, but specifically I love this one because it's kind of a philosophical approach to the systems we have in our lives, which sounds about as sexy as it is. But at the back of the book, Seth says, the magic is that there is no magic. Start where you are and don't stop. So he is like a very kind kick in the ass for whenever you're not shipping your creative work, shipping, aka putting it out there. If you struggle with being consistent, if you need to be reminded that your work matters, even if you don't have a million followers, this book is absolutely unreal. I got to interview him several years ago. I'll make sure I'll link that up down below. And I want to say he is kind and generous, not just in his words in his book, but also in real life. Those of you who know me will not be surprised that this is coming into the picture, but big magic, big old magic from Elizabeth Gilbert. I freaking love this book. There was one point where I was literally reading it every single year on my birthday. But what I learned from Gilbert's work is that ideas are living entities. And if you do not use the ideas that you have, it will go to someone else. And so you can't pout and get upset if you're sitting on something for 5 or 10 years and you see someone else came out with that blog or that podcast or whatever, because ideas won't stick with you if you don't nurture them. So it's kind of a little the woo, interesting spiritual take on creativity, but it's one that I like because it helps me remember that there's something bigger than me at work and that I'm playing with that and I'm not all alone in it. Next, I have, and I want to say this is number 1, but this is, God, it's good. Y'all know what it's going to be. Boom, 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 boom. Rick Rubin, The Creative Act. Rick Rubin is a music producer, and this book, although the cover, I don't know, is a little questionable. People have referred to it as like a creative Bible, which I don't know if I'd necessarily go that far, but it is so mystical and practical and tactical and magical all at the same time. So this man is disciplined AF. Obviously, he has produced just incredible work, worked with huge names. So the discipline is there. He understands what Seth talks about with the practice, but he also recognizes, like Elizabeth recognizes, is there's something else at work and that we have to honor it. We have to listen. Things I've learned from him is about creative restraints. You guys know I mention that all the time. He also talks about flow and concentrated effort and then releasing an idea and going and taking a break and inspiration hits you after that. Another thing I've learned from him is just trying weird things that you don't think would necessarily work together and just playing because it just breaks your brain out of the mundane rhythmatic way that it works and helps you see things differently. It is very tactical. It's very weird and woo, but it is just the most badass book if you feel stuck creatively. And I'm going to give you guys a bonus one. I haven't mentioned this one in a while, but this one's really meaningful. And it just so happens to be called The Meaning in the Making. This is from Sean Tucker. We had him on the show too a while back, but this book is fantastic for those of you who maybe feel small or insignificant or worry too much about what other people think about your work. Sean really breaks down, is your work meaningful to you? What is the meaning in what you are making? And so really it's a call to become loyal to our relationship with our work and what that means to us as creatives versus just making for other people all the time. So The Meaning in the Making, Sean Tucker. Have you read any of these books? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Is there one that you would recommend for me? You can comment down below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're over on the podcast, hello, I love you. Check us out over on YouTube as well. It's Heather Parady, Parady. I love you guys. See you soon.